Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Gaillard of InvestGlass, and it's a pleasure today to have you for a special webinar about onboarding, digital onboarding, account opening, and KYC review. The topics are very large today, so I hope we'll have enough time in those 30 minutes to cover digital onboarding. We'll certainly do another webinar around automation of KYC next week. But with no further ado, first, um, for your own protection, all you're going to see within this presentation is only for education only. InvestGlass is not an investment advisor, broker, dealer, and we do not participate in any types of sales, offer, distribution of security, nor do we provide any investment advice. So what you're going to see today is only for educational purpose. Obviously, we respect GDPR, and I'm happy also if you have any questions about GDPR to help you with this topic. InvestGlass currently is used by around 1,000 people. Hopefully, we're going to celebrate at the same time our 6th anniversary and reach the 1,000 users this month. As you see, we have clients all over the world, buy side and sell side, and we love to put them in common. So if you have some interest because you're in buy side and you want to meet some other sell side guys or the opposite, please let us know. We're happy to help you. And as you see, the network is expanding thanks to you. So that's a great news for everyone using InvestGlass. Now, today we're going to talk about digital onboarding and how to solve digital onboarding when you cannot see the clients anymore for different reasons, perhaps because the client is abroad, because you're traveling, just because you want to automate the sales process, or just unfortunately, like currently, we have a virus all over the world. There are three types of digital onboarding with InvestGlass. Um, the first one is what we call the classical brick and mortar. I'll show you example later on. Brick and mortar means that you're going to meet with the client face to face, and you will ask some questions. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be on paper. It means that you're going to use some forms to automate some parts of the account opening. This is great, partly if you feel that the client is in, I would say, is looking for complex exchanges, or if the client is looking for a more sophisticated type of questions and answers interactions. Obviously, it means that you must have someone facing the client. You're not going to put a robot in front of the client for now. Perhaps you do it in Asia, but for now, you're going to have someone facing the client. So in terms of productivity, it's a one-to-one. Then you have the second solution, which is the hybrid solution. The hybrid solution means that as a banker, you will feel part of the information, or perhaps a third party like an extra wealth manager is going to feel some questions about the client's KYC, and then you're going to collect everything into InvestGlass CRM. The client can fulfill other points, and then this questionnaire will be ready to go and ready to be signed. So the hybrid is becoming very, I would say, widely used in Switzerland partly, but also in the rest of our clients in Europe. The reason for that is it respects clients' emotions. Each client will be looking for some kind of interactions in a way, partly if they are opening larger accounts, or if you start asking them some complex questions. Because when we're talking about onboarding, obviously there are 2 points. Perhaps I should have started from there. You have onboarding, which is acquiring new information of new leads, and there's the other type of onboarding or KYC updates, where you're going to ask at a given frequency a question to a client, such as your passport expired, the client change address, or perhaps just simply the client give a postal code that it doesn't match to the phone number extension. So you might ask questions about to the client, say, hey, your address is in Switzerland, your phone number is in Luxembourg, where are you living? So the hybrid, I would say, will be the right approach if you want to speed up some processes that are cumbersome and manual, though you still want to have some kind of face-to-face or voice or interaction with a chat. And we'll show you also which chat application we suggest you. Then you have the third type of digital onboarding or KYC updates, which is a DIY, the do-it-yourself. So in this direction, basically you're going to create your own onboarding forms from InvestGlass, and then the client will be able to answer those forms. The forms will be sent on different media. It can be with an SMS, on a chatting tool, with an email, or simply within the InvestGlass portal. So those are the three big ways of automating the questions you might ask to new clients or updating KYC. What is the most important part of this whole process when you're using forms is first that you have to collect information within respect of your local regulations. So if you're located in the UK, you have to respect UK regulations. If you're in France, if you're in Dubai, or if you're in Singapore, usually you have to store the CID, the customer identifiable data, within your home regulated country. So in the UK, you should use a UK server, in France, a French server, in Switzerland, a Swiss server, etc. etc. For each countries, all those countries, we have a solution that can be linked to InvestGlass, which guarantees that the customer identifiable data will be respected and recorded on your local ground, on your local servers, right? So it's very important that you ask us, and we'll inform you the different solutions we have to respect these customer identifiable data. So I think this is the first part you have to make sure you respect. The second part is onboarding forms and connecting onboarding forms to different widgets, and I'll show you what we can do for that. Because the type of onboarding you'll do for retail banking will be different from private banking. The brokerage onboarding will be different from the one of wealth management. So the tools you're going to connect into InvestGlass will be different. And the third part that is very important is that you respect emotions and clients' values perceptions. Perhaps I should start from there, but it's very important when you ask a question to a client that you imagine how you're going to reflect when the client actually receives those questions, reflects in terms of values, and how the client will perceive the fact that you ask those questions. The way you're going to ask it, the way, in fact, you're going to wrap your request to update clients' information, it's extremely important. It's extremely important because asking questions can create frustrations. It's never nice to ask questions to people. People don't like that, but you must ask questions. So make sure that you respect clients' emotions. Make sure that you use the right widget, the right tools to make this onboarding as efficient as possible. And the first rule I told you is make sure that you respect the customer identifiable data. So how do we do all this with InvestGlass? Well, we are using within InvestGlass, as you know, different solutions. Solutions for chat like Quill, digital signature like Connective, HelloSign, DocuSign. We have clients using WeChat or WhatsApp for more, I would say, modern and aggressive type of chats, on FIDO for face recognition, etc., etc. So we can connect all those different widgets into InvestGlass forms based on the type of experience you're looking to achieve with your clients onboarding. Now, most of our clients come to us with existing stack. Okay, in blue, we'll say it's InvestGlass stack, and in gold is existing portfolio management or core banking system. We work with different core banking system, and the objective of working with all those core banking systems is to make sure that the change management will be done properly, right? When we come with InvestGlass, the objective is to use I would say, the most intuitive, the most colorful lean solution and to use it into your existing stack. Obviously, if you want to change stack, you can change stack, but the objective is to be as cost sensitive as possible. So the idea is that with InvestGlass, we're going to compose different journeys. Okay, InvestGlass it's a collection of products from InvestGlass, but collection of products also with different partners. We bring all those collections of objects together to create a journey. And the most important, and people here attending this webinar, I see there are many clients, you know this, is that within InvestGlass, you can reuse the objects to design a new journey if you see that the journey doesn't work. In the marketing, we call this A/B testing. Perhaps you've been using MailChimp or this type of tools to do some campaigns, some email campaigns. You're going to try something, doesn't work. You try another thing, it's working better. You try a third option, it works even better. So this is what we call A/B testing. It's very important that you have an A/B testing mindset within those fintech, because you might find that some fintech will work, others will not work, and some clients will lack some fintech usage, others will not. Doesn't mean that the face recognition is not good for you. Perhaps it's good for 90% of your clients, but for 10% of your clients, they want something, I would say, more face-to-face human, all right? And you have to respect the emotions. The only thing that is important in this journey building is to make sure that you will have no drop, or as less drop as possible, into the onboarding phase, to make sure that when you build those journeys, the conversion rate will be good. All right. What do I mean by that? I mean by that if you are expecting the clients to bring Formula A certificate of incumbents into your onboarding forms and they don't have it, when they actually onboard themselves into your platform, think about an onboarding then that is not in one shot like you would do if you open an account with a Revolut or N26, but in multiple steps, right? So perhaps you might find out that it's smarter to ask easy questions first to hook the client, and then ask more complex questions after, because the client needs to collect some documents. And I'll show you some widget tricks that we can use to actually invite the client into a autonomous approach of onboarding. All right, so now I spoke too much. Let's dive into InvestGlass and show you the different tools we have. All right, so during this presentation, we will show you different aspects of InvestGlass. On the white browser, we will find InvestGlass as an employee of a company. In fact, let's actually change the logo right now. Okay, settings. Okay, I'm going to change my logo. You see, it's extremely easy to customize InvestGlass. And on the right, on the black browser, it will be the client or the prospect website. So you see now the look and feel is respected, is your corporate branding. There are many, I would say, customized look and feels and templates options. We can discuss about that later on for your own onboarding, right? So let me give you first an overview of the app in terms of what you can use in terms of digital onboarding, and also in terms of CRM, how it works. InvestGlass is, before anything else, a CRM. So a CRM is a client relationship management tool, customer relationship management tool. The aim of a CRM is not to be painful. The objective of CRM is to help you be more efficient. You have one day before the moment you drop your kids, if you have some at school, and the time you actually go out. In the UK, to the pub. In France, you stay slightly longer in the office because you start after 2. You have a limited day, and you have to make sure that what you're gonna do during that day is gonna be efficient. So CRM is gonna help you to collect those information and to make sure that each time you interact with a client is gonna be as efficient as possible. All right. So how do we do this? Well, from InvestGlass, we have a bunch of tools. The first setup that you usually do when you start with InvestGlass is first you set up the custom fields. InvestGlass has a series of fields. We have preset fields for clients as well as their companies. But what's quite new now is that you can create some custom fields within InvestGlass. That's actually perhaps the first time for some of you that you see that we can create some custom fields within InvestGlass. So I'm happy to show you that. Those custom fields can be customizable by a linguistic area, also customizable for a client or a company group. And as you see, you can put some default values, you can put some different languages, etc. Then the second step will be to make sure that those fields are actually made as mandatory. Why do we want to do this? Because we want to help our sales team to focus on fields that actually need to be filled, right? And you'll see a little triangle later. If the fields are not actually answered into this CRM, then you will find some help flags to point you at those fields. Then you have the CRM itself, right? The CRM will have, so let me find my favorite DAB. The CRM is working the following way. You have individuals like contacts, and the contacts can be linked to groups. We call them relations. The relations can be of different natures, and what's nice with InvestGlass is that, contrary to most CRMs, it's not only one relation you have, but it's multiple relations. The reason for that is that we have clients linking their contacts to trusts, families, or companies. You see here, Danielle Lafont is linked to a company because she's the CEO of this company. When I go into this company now, I have more information. First, I'm going to find the custom fields I created, okay, and you are free to create as much field as you want, and those fields are audited, all right. And you'll find also the hierarchy between this company and the rest of companies that will be linked, so the sister companies to this asset management company. You will find all the members of the company as well as their role, the type of signature they have, and the authorization they have. Can they actually give orders, trading orders? Can they ask for invoices, balance sheets, and different types of information? All right. Into the CRM, you'll also find obviously the individual information, and we have currently, I would say, in the basic InvestGlass over 100 fields, which cover the regulations from Americas, Europe, and Asia regulations you might find out. Now, if you don't find those fields, or if you want to create a field that is specific to your business, for example, in France, we have PEA eligible securities, or in Switzerland, we have third pillar, or the SIP wrapper in the UK, then you can create those fields within the CRM. And what is very important, and I'm stressing this little important information, is that everything can be audited. As you see on my screen now, each time you change those informations into InvestGlass, InvestGlass will record who changed the information, how this information has been recorded, from where, and which field has been changed. All right. So I won't dive into more details. If you have questions about GDPR, audit, encryptions, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. Now, the next part will be about onboarding forms, because either you call the client and say, hey, I'm going to call the client, give him a phone call. You see you have the call report page, and you can put in some information, or even record with the voice a conversation and have a trace of the conversation recorded here in your call report. Or you can say, I have something more complex to ask to the client. I need to share some onboarding forms, right? So let's talk about onboarding forms now. So if you go to My Account Company, you will find here the forms. Most of you already created forms. Into InvestGlass, we have two types of forms. The first type of form is onboarding forms. So onboarding forms are meant to answer CRM fields. Then we have DM forms, which is discretionary mandate profilers. Those forms aims to facilitate client onboarding for investments profiling. So if you want to sell different mandates, conservative, balanced, aggressive, this is where you would go. Today we're going to talk mostly about the CRM onboarding forms, because obviously with coronavirus and the fact that some clients cannot show up to the office, this is what we're going to do. So we prepared already some forms. I'm going to show you two forms, the welcome form and the compliance form. Let me edit this form. So how does it look like? So into a form, you will find all the basic information that you need to create forms. I invite you to use the tag system that will simplify your prowling into this long list of forms. Why? Because later on, you'll see when we want to address a form to a client that has been pre-tagged in the lifecycle management, InvestGlass will also facilitate the form selection, partly useful when you start having 10, 50, 100 forms. Then the notification, the image. We're going to add a few more options in the coming days, so stay tuned also for more templating. Also here, I can select different options. Do I want to show this form into the portal? And if I do, I might say I want to share it with all the clients that have been tagged as prospect or institutional. So that's a very nice way to facilitate the form presentation. Also, I can decide to show the forms only if I have fields that are missing or if I have fields that need to be updated. So this is very interesting if you have update routines. So let's say that you have to update a client's address once every year or once every 3 years. The client have not answered properly the TIN or the NIF number for the tax. The form will only show if those informations are wrong, incorrect, or missing. So that's very helpful. And will save you a lot of time, partly if you are working with compliance departments. All right, here we are showing also Credas. We are a fan of Credas in the UK for digital signatures and also for onboarding. So partly if you're looking to scan some driving license, a UK driving license, and need to compare your UK driving license and do some name check, Credas is a great solution. But we love also OnFido. All right, and then we have the pages. So the page system works that way. You create a page name. If you don't want to show the page name, you can also keep it blank. That's partly helpful if you just want to have something very basic and simple. And then here, you will create a new question. So here on the bottom, you see you can add new questions. And for each question, you'll have a title. You can give a column name. That's very helpful if you need then to map these fields back into your core banking system, for example, or your existing tool. And then you have the possibility to map those fields directly into InvestGlass CRM. And as you will see later, each field will be linked to the right database and the right, I would say, table. All right. So what you see here is the actual name of the field, and on the right is the table. So you can have a table that is contact tag category that will be different from the contact. And later we'll see also we have tables like relations or companies that will be different. That will be very helpful if you are looking to record information partly for companies and you want to have a different information for an email of a company and an email of a contact, right? We have different types of questions, different styles. You can add links, you can add descriptions, and you can also add hidden fields. We add hidden fields, for example, when we need to add some timestamps, or we need to add some preset values. Again, because the fields and the answers can be directed directly into a third-party API or third-party folder, because you are coordinating InvestGlass with different solutions. So this welcome page can be used for public websites. Here, this is a dummy website of a wealth and asset manager. And as you find here on the left, as you find here on the left, this will be the questionnaire, right? So the questionnaire I just built just before will be here. So I can say I want to create number. Okay, my email. Okay, I can tag. I can even add also some upload some documents, and I'm going to send all this information. Right, fantastic. So all those information are then stack into your CRM. You're going to receive in a few seconds a warning message, because I should receive a notification, and then into the core report I will find all those answers. Okay, so here I found Lena Oswald contact. I found also a tracking number. This is very important, partly for users in Singapore, where you have very stringent rules in terms of know your customer. From the very first step of a prospect then ask questions into your landing page on the public website, you already have a tracing number. And then, as you see, I have the client sensors, and I can just click here on the CRM, and then within a click, engage the conversation. Now, what am I going to talk about? Well, with one click, as you might know, you have the related securities, and here the machine will show me securities that, based on the client's expectations or preferences, will be automatically made relevant. All right. Well, this is in Chinese, but obviously, as you see, it's a multilingual actionable investment nudge that is produced from InvestGlass. Everything is customizable, from the products to the tagging, as you might know. Now so this was more for a lead nurture, acquiring information. Now, if I want to engage with this client, it's not a prospect anymore, I can use the portal, right? InvestGlass portal can be customizable. So all the widgets that you find here can be added, removed, only shown for a client segment with InvestGlass app system. It works very simply with a tagging based on the client segments. So if I go to my account company, here you have an access with the apps and portal. Two options. The first option is to change the widgets look and feel and make them visible or not. So let me look at the key information documents here. You see the key information or the key documents. The widget can be created from InvestGlass. Okay, you can customize. You can put it as a link. You can put it as a button. Here on the right, you see its buttons. Then I have links to different files that are hosted and into InvestGlass. And I want to have this app only visible for clients that are been tagged as institutional. So this user being an institutional client, they will see it, and then it will be the client will be able to download some documents. All right. If I take it out and save it, then the client won't see this widget anymore. All right, so it's extremely modular, and this will help you to create distinctive experience, distinctive journeys based on client segments. Now, if I want to share some key documents, this is how you would do it. Now, if I want to share some forms, okay, because I want to ask more detailed questions, for example, about the client's company, or the client's knowledge. Let's do it with another form, and let's use now from forms here the compliance form. So here I found my questions. Okay, for compliance questions, I decided to go for what we call a checkbox system, as well as radio button. So you see, you will be also able to change the format, but I want to make it also interesting and to add some questions related to the company. So how do I do this? Well, here into the related KYC fields, I will find here some information. So for example, code de crédit, those are fields are created just before address street. It's the address street of the company, it's not the address street of the individual. However, I could create a form asking the address of the individual and the address of the company in the same form, right? So this is how it will look like into your system. So let me put here. Okay, so this is the anniversary, and it's in German, right? Or I can say, okay, what is your incorporation number? And save it, save it, save it. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to share this compliance questionnaire with my clients. So I'll go back to my clients, but there's no other way to do it is this way. Okay. And I'm going to upload the form here, upload the form and select a form. All right. So here you have a bunch of forms. You can restrict the numbers of forms and only show and only see the ones that are relevant. Here I see compliance test. Okay, you can create here your own invitation text, and we have options. The options are in this basic InvestGlass, either to send a nudge an invitation through the portal or through an email. Obviously, you could send an SMS. Usually, we use Twilio for that. The same for WhatsApp and WeChat, or you can use a chatting tool like Quill that we like very much. Hi Laurent, I don't know if you're here listening, but then the invitation will be sent directly into this media. Okay, and the client receives a notification in this scenario to check the portal, to check that there's something new. Here you have a little one showing you that there's something new to check. I found my compliance test, and here I can update information. What is interesting in this questionnaire is that the informations are already pre-filled. So if the client's name is changing, the client can actually find the CRM information. So the CRM information are sent in directly into the form, and then the client can change it. This will be very helpful if you want to limit the dual entries. In most formulas, when you start having formula AK, you have an account opening, then you have a service opening, you have to ask the clients to put his address 5 times. This is painful. Here, InvestGlass CRM will just bring back the information into the right form. Now, if the clients changes his name and now is Lafont Smith, obviously the client can do it and everything will be audited. And here I will find into my second page custom field information. So obviously you can put this is a random information. Everything will be stored directly into the CRM. What is very nice also is that those answers are going to produce a PDF. So all the answers will be automatically generating a document that can be used as a contract, right? And you can then trigger the digital signature, which will be a topic for another presentation. The digital signature will be very helpful to have the client sign, or to have the person in charge, perhaps it's the CEO of the company or the four people that are the board member that will sign, and you add then the four signature. So we've been already presenting for more than 30 minutes the different solutions we have within InvestGlass. We have different tools, and you can play with the different options to facilitate the onboarding. I hope this gave you a good first taste of InvestGlass onboarding forms and CRM features. If you have any questions, please contact us. Send us an email at contact@investglass.com. Or for those that are already using InvestGlass, as you know, on the bottom left, you have this customer service chatting tool. So please just ping us, and we'll be more than happy to welcome you and welcome your questions and answer your questions. So keep safe. Make sure you eat well and you do enough sport in this time of coronavirus. And I look forward to seeing you very soon, either in your office or in Geneva. Have a lovely day, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.